Welcome to O Sabotage Games, and influencers driving race cars is either saving motorsport or is it turning it into a cosplay event? Let's talk about it. Influencers driving race cars is the most divisive topic in modern motorsport. Some say they're saving the sport, others say they're destroying everything racing is supposed to stand for. The truth is more uncomfortable than either side wants to admit, because influencers didn't break motorsport, they just exposed it. Let's start with the reality. Motorsport has never been a pure meritocracy. Talent has always competed with money, the only difference is now visibility. Karting costs money, testing costs money, seats cost money. For decades, drivers with family wealth bought opportunities and quietly disappeared when they weren't good enough. Nobody complained because they didn't have any audience. Influencers changed that. They arrive with a built-in fan base, proven sponsor value, measurable return on investment, and in sport, that consistency struggles to justify budgets. That's not optional, it's attractive. So a few pros then, they bring eyeballs motorsport desperately needs. Like it or not, influencers put millions of eyes on racing that would never watch a club race, a GT support series, or even junior formulas. Sponsors don't care about lap times, they care about reach, and influencers deliver that in bulk. They unlock budgets real drivers can't. Motorsport has always been pay to play. Influencers just say the quiet part out loud. If someone brings funding through an audience instead of a family money, is that really worse? Motorsport needs relevance. Racing is expensive, fragmented, and often invisible outside to hardcore fans. Influencers translate racing into modern media language, reach younger audiences motorsport has failed to attract, and turn obscure series into shareable moments. That matters a lot. Without new eyes, motorsport doesn't grow, it shrinks. They definitely lower the barrier to entry for fans. Seeing a normal person jump into a race car makes motorsport feel accessible again. That inspiration matters. Some future drivers come from YouTube comments, not karting paddocks. They don't just bring money, they bring leverage. Sponsors today don't want logos, they want engagement, storytelling and analytics. An influencer can deliver sponsor value without podiums, activate partnerships year round, and justify budgets even during bad seasons. That stability keeps teams alive, and no team surviving on a razor thin margin is turning down that out of principle. Now the part that actually angers people. Seats are finite and talent loses. This isn't theoretical. Every influencer seat replaces a faster driver, a more experienced racer, or someone who sacrificed everything to be there. And the message that sends is brutal. Performance alone is not enough. That erodes trust in the ladder system and kills belief for young drivers without money or media presence. But they take seats from faster drivers. This is the uncontrollable truth. Every influencer seat is a seat not going to a driver who's quicker, hungrier, and grinding with no platform. Merit takes a back seat to metrics. They also dilute what professional means. Motorsport used to reward precision, discipline, and racecraft. Now sometimes it rewards thumbnail faces and engagement graphs. That doesn't sit right with people who've bled for tenths. Professional motorsport used to mean consistency, precision, and discipline under pressure. But when drivers are selected for visibility, the definition of deserving blurs. If a driver is a second off the pace, makes repeated mistakes, and relies on teammates to carry results, but keeps their seat because engagement is high, what does professional even mean anymore? Some treat racing like content first and competition second. If the priority is clips, not consistency, if the crashes become good content, then you're not racing, you're farming impressions at 200 km an hour. Content first mentality is dangerous. Here's a line that should worry everyone. Some influencers approach racing as a content opportunity or a brand asset or even a storyline generator. When crashes become clips, when mistakes become thumbnails, and when drama becomes currency, the incentive structure changes. Motorsport is already a dangerous sport, but turning risk into reward is not a game you want to play lightly. The hypocrisy on both sides. Now let's call this out properly. The purists are selective with their outrage. They complain about influencers, but stay quiet when rich drivers bought seats quietly. They hate visibility replacing talent, but ignored money replacing talent for decades. The difference now isn't ethics, it's exposure. The influencers aren't innocent either. Some genuinely work hard, train properly and respect the craft. Others overstate their ability and downplay their privilege, hide behind bringing fans as a justification for poor performance. If you're on the grid, you're part of a competition. You don't get immunity from criticism just because you brought cameras. The solution isn't banning influencers, that's just unrealistic and stupid. But what should change is clear performance benchmarks, transparent expectations, and honest categorization of seats. If a driver is there for funding and reach, say it. If they're developing, define the timeline. And if they're competitive, then prove it. Ambiguity is what fuels resentment. The final take, the line that splits the comments. Influencers in race cars aren't a disgrace, but pretending they earn seats purely on talent is. Motorsport doesn't need fewer influencers, it needs honesty about what it values. Because once fans stop believing the fastest drivers win, you don't have a sport anymore, you just have very expensive content. If this annoyed you, good, that means it mattered. Tell me where you disagree. And if you want breakdowns of actual racecraft, decision making and what separates real performance from hype, make sure you stick around. Make sure to subscribe to the channel, and just below the like button, leave a comment telling me what you think about influences in motorsport and if you think I'm right or wrong. But thank you very much for watching the video, and I'll see you in the next one.